Welcome back, Retro Warriors. Today we're tackling what many consider the most brutally difficult in the legendary Ninja Gaiden trilogy. This is Ninja Gaiden 3, the ancient ship of doom. And if you've been struggling to beat this notorious challenge, you're in the right place. Here's something that might surprise you. When this game first launched in Japan, it was actually the easiest entry in the series. But for the North American release, the developers cranked up the difficulty to 11, removed most checkpoints, and even took away the password system. The result? A game that can break your spirit in minutes. That's something you might want to consider when playing this game. Grab the Japanese copy if you're looking for an easier challenge. Don't worry though, I'm going to show you the professional strategies, secret codes, and boss tactics that will help you conquer this legendary challenge. We'll cover everything from the 99 continues cheat code to advanced enemy manipulation techniques. So grab your dragon sword and let's dive in. Before we jump into the action, let's talk about what makes Ninja Gaiden 3 so special. The story takes place between the first two games, featuring some genuinely shocking plot twists, including the apparent death of a major character right in the opening sequence. Ryu has some new abilities this time around. You can climb walls freely like in Ninja Gaiden 2, and you'll start off with the powerful windmill throwing star. But the real game changer is the invincible fire wheel. This weapon is absolutely broken in the best way possible, and we'll be using it to cheese some of the toughest sections. Now, here's your lifeline. At the title screen, wait for it to fade completely, then press start to make it reappear. Do this 8 times total. On the 8th appearance, hold up, left, A, B, and select at the same time, then press start. You'll now have 99 continues instead of the brutal default of 5. Trust me, use this code. The game is still challenging with infinite continues, but at least you won't want to throw your controller through the window. Act 1. The mystery begins. The opening cutscene sets up our main mystery. Irene appears to fall to her death while being chased by someone who looks exactly like Ryu. Of course, we know our hero didn't do it, but proving that innocence won't be easy. The stage 1-1 strategy. Right away, you'll notice the windmill throwing star as your default weapon. It costs 10 Ninpō points, but packs a serious punch. In these early vertical sections, grab the art of the fire wheel when you see it. It only costs 8 points and shoots upward, perfect for climbing sections. This entry focuses on Ryu Hayabusa's quest to stop his own doppelganger created by the villain. The game's plot involves ancient prophecies and the manipulation of Ryu's life forces. Foster, Ryu's CIA contact from previous games, returns but plays a smaller role in the overall narrative. The Mantis Warrior boss. This guy's a complete joke. He'll spit fire across the ground, but you can easily avoid it by wall climbing. The better strategy? Jump over him when he starts spitting fire and attack his back. He'll go down in seconds. The mysterious stranger, who appears after the fight, mentions Castle Rock Fortress. That's our destination, but getting there won't be easy. Act 1 cutscene. Ryu approaches a mysterious lab, noting that something about it is unusual. A voice calls out, surprising him. A man steps forward, calm but serious, instructing Ryu to journey to the Castle Rock Fortress, warning that traps lie ahead. The man does not reveal the enemy or the fortress's details, only that Ryu must hurry and Irene's fate will be revealed once he arrives. Ryu steals himself and sets off. Act 2, Desert Trials. Stage 2-1, Sand Trap Survival. Those quick sand traps will hurt you. Now, instead of killing you instantly, one of the few improvements from the Japanese version. When you encounter the bouncy ball enemies, stop and move forward slowly. If you don't advance too far right, they won't go crazy bouncing around. Pro tip, Always clear enemies that spawn from the left first, then deal with the bouncy balls on the right. Stage 2-2, the Lava Gauntlet. This is where things get serious. You only have one checkpoint for all of Stage 2, so every mistake counts. Be extremely careful with the ceiling spikes. They deal massive damage to your tiny health bar. Ninja Gaiden 3 features some of the longest and most elaborate cutscenes on the NES platform. Watch for the lava rising behind you. Sometimes enemies take a moment to spawn when their platforms appear, so wait a bit before jumping. Use your Art of the Fire wheel liberally here. There's a magic refill coming up anyway. The soundtrack was composed to complement the darker, more serious tone compared to earlier entries. We're going to be coming up to a scroll that's going to increase your power indefinitely. Pick this one up here. Now just be careful. These enemies are a lot trickier than it looks like. Don't rush. Take these guys out after these fireballs hit. And we're almost at the top. Remember, Art of the Fire wheel is important here. Try not to pick up anything else, but keep the fire wheel. This spot, the fireballs will jump up after you, so be careful. The Night Diver boss. He flies in a wavy pattern and shoots fireballs straight down. Attack when he dips low, but never stand directly underneath him. Your fire wheel can catch him during his flight pattern, making this fight much easier. Act 3, Jungle Infiltration. Foster makes his return here. And surprise, he's still a complete villain. The plot thickens as we learn more about the conspiracy surrounding Irene's apparent death. The Act 2 cutscene. Ryu finds himself in a strange location, uncertain of what lies ahead. Suddenly the image of Foster appears on a massive screen. Foster's laughter fills the room, taunting Ryu about the fortress defenses. Ryu realizes Foster is behind Irene's death, and the two exchange heated words. Foster mocks him, suggesting Ryu may not survive the next encounter. The screen fades, leaving Ryu vowing to pursue the truth no matter what. Stage 3-1, Water Hazards. Those fish enemies in the water can knock you off moving platforms. Step right when you see them so they jump out and you can attack them safely. There's a vacuum wave weapon here that hits both above and below Ryu. Very useful in tight spots. Notice how I'm jumping in the air, slashing, then falling straight back down? That's intentional. It's basically baiting all the enemies into jumping at me while I slash them and return back down. This spot with the platform is quite tricky. You'll want to wait here until the platform arrives, then jump on top of it, and be careful. Enemies are flying at you from everywhere. Now just a few more enemies until we head off to Stage 3-2. Stage 3-2, Difficulty Spike. This represents a massive jump-in challenge. Use your fire Dragon Balls to clear enemies below before dropping down. Move slowly across the platforms to avoid spawning too many enemies at once. The key section comes when you grab the invincible fire. Activate it after getting the magic refill, but avoid the windmill star power-up. It'll cancel your invincibility. Wait here. Now jump and slash and return to the ground. This will take out this enemy really quickly. This section you'll want to use the fire invincibility. Climb the left wall, grab the permanent magic upgrade scroll, then save your remaining invincibility for the boss. The double boss battle. Only the boss on the right can be damaged. Use your invincibility when it starts throwing windmill stars, but don't touch the boss while invincible or it'll wear off. Without invincibility, use the art of the fire wheel and move clockwise around the room to avoid projectiles. The Act 3 cutscene, Ryu comes face to face with his duplicate, a sinister version of himself. The double charges at Ryu, forcing him into combat. The two clash, and Ryu is thrown to the ground. The duplicate boasts that he possesses all of Ryu's strengths and claims responsibility for Irene's death. Before retreating, he warns Ryu that he will be ready at the Castle Rock Fortress. Ryu watches in shock, asking him what awaits at the fortress and trying to process that the encounter with his deadly double. Stage 4-1, grab the art of the fire wheel early on. When dealing with insect drones, jump off the ledge and pull left to spawn a third one. This makes the upcoming platform section easier. Duck down on the moving platforms to take out enemies safely. Stage 4-2, Spike Gauntlet. This is the checkpoint. You die, you coming back here. Those spikes deal 6 damage out of your 16 total health, so 3 hits and you're done. The sword upgrade is critical, and that invincible fire pickup is mandatory for what's coming. Activate invincibility before climbing the chains, and use it again midway up. The magic protects you from spikes, which is a lifesaver in these tight vertical sections. The Sand Eater boss. Pelt it with Art of the Fire Wheel immediately. When it jumps off the platform, follow it from behind while attacking. If it digs underground, get to the left platform and wait for it to surface. Act 5, Fortress Siege. Clancy reveals his true plan. He's been using Foster and wants to create bio-nodes using dimensional life energy. It's as crazy as it sounds, but the threat is very real. The Act 4 cutscene, Ryu meets Clancy, a man who reveals he was formerly working with Foster on the biohazard plan. Clancy explains that Foster has secretly created bio-nodes, superhumans infused with life energy from a dimensional seam. Clancy warns Ryu that he is the last hope to stop Foster. Confirming that a Bionoid was responsible for Irene's death, Ryu listens, determined, knowing he must confront Foster and end the threat. Stage 5-1. The iconic mountain riding scene leads into some of the game's toughest platforming. Hesitate before that first gap to clear enemies. Stay on the bottom platforms when possible to avoid aerial threats. The trickiest room requires climbing to the left side and waiting out those slow drones. Jump onto platforms as they move upward and more quickly. Those purple mini jets will swarm you if you linger. Stage 5-2. Duck under the laser shooting walker enemies. Their beams are devastating. Grab that full magic refill and sword upgrade at the bottom. The art of the fire wheel becomes crucial for vertical climbing ahead. In the bridge section, activate invincibility as soon as you get it. The floor literally breaks beneath your feet. Get that health refill in the corner, and keep that invincibility hot for the climb. The Act 5 cutscene, Ryu approaches Castle Rock Fortress, towering ominously in the distance. He shouts for Foster to reveal himself, but Foster explains his plan: to extract Dragon Claw secrets from Ryu and create a superior Bionoid. Suddenly, Ryu's double appears, prepared to attack. A woman with submachine guns intervenes. It's Irene, alive and ready to fight. She explains that she's discovered Foster's plan while working with the army. Ryu and Irene battle the double, with Irene's shots barely affecting it. Ryu takes the lead, confronting both the duplicate and Foster's schemes head on. Later, Clancy appears, congratulating Ryu and Irene. But his motives are revealed. He plans to claim the life energy and ruins for himself. Foster tries to follow Clancy into subspace, but is instantly destroyed by the energy. Ryu watches in shock as Clancy appears, his motives still mysterious. Now, onto the evil Ryu boss battle. Clone always starts on the right. That's one thing you have to remember. Jump straight up twice while throwing shurikens. Jump with the boss and attack during his jump pattern. When he throws fireballs, stay in the corner and hit him with fire wheels. The pattern repeats, so always stay patient and consistent. Onto Act 6, Dimensional Rift. Irene's alive, but she can't follow Ryu through the dimensional portal, setting up our hero's final confrontation with Foster and Clancy. Stage 6-1. Those purple crystal platforms are slippery, but jumping when you land stops the sliding. The propeller enemies behave like bird enemies from the previous games. Fast and dangerous. In the vertical shaft, climb slowly and drop back down to spawn the purple mini jets, then take them out. Moving too fast gets you swarmed. Stage 6-2, the Infinite Lives trick. There's a 1-up in this stage that respawns when you backtrack. Head right, grab the 1-up with your vacuum wave, then return left to stage 6-2A. Come back through the door, and this 1-up will be there again. You can hold a maximum of 9 extra lives, so stock up if you're running low. Foster Boss, the mutated form. Now, use the vacuum wave weapon. You want to climb the left wall and wait for his charge. Now jump over him when he reaches the middle. Then use the vacuum wave on landing to clear falling enemies. Attack his back, that's his weak spot. Now repeat the pattern until he's defeated. Keep jumping after victory to avoid sinking into the ground. Act 7, The Ancient Ship of Doom. The final act reveals the truth. We're inside an interdimensional warship, and Clancy has absorbed enough life to become a godlike being that destroyed humanity. On to the Act 6 cutscene. Ryu prepares to enter subspace after Clancy, but urges Irene to leave for safety. She insists on joining him, but Ryu convinces her to stay, promising he will return alive. Inside subspace, Ryu confronts a mutant, seemingly Foster, transformed by the life energy. The mutant boasts of newfound power and attacks, but Ryu refuses to be defeated. After defeating the mutant, Ryu encounters Clancy again. Now, in a grotesque, blue-veined form, Clancy declares that he has absorbed the life energy and intends to use the ruins to create a new world. Powered by a dimensional warship, Ryu is stunned as Clancy reveals the scope of the threat. So two strategies come into play here. The recommended strategy, with invincibility, grab the invincible fire in 7-1 and carry it all through the 3 stages. This requires perfect timing and movement, but it trivializes the final bosses. You'll be racing against the clock, but the payoff is huge. Now, without invincibility, focus on Art of the Fire Wheel and fire Dragon Balls. Take your time in 7-2 and 7-3, using the infinite life trick if needed. The magic refills are strategically placed to support this approach. In stage 7-1, the wind pushes you backwards during jumps. Compensate while jumping further than normal. That invincible fire pickup is the only one in all of Act 7, so treat it like gold. Stage 2. Full magic refills are everywhere. The developers clearly intended the invincible strategy. If you don't have invincibility, use fire Dragon Balls liberally and take out enemies from above wherever possible. Stage 7-3. The ninja scroll here permanently increases your magic to 90 points. If you die during one of the final bosses, you can collect it again for up to 110 total magic points. On to the final boss gauntlet. 3 consecutive bosses with no breaks. This is where champions are made. Clancy in the first form is the hardest boss in the game. Hit him on the left side of the screen. After striking, run right and turn left after the second lightning bolt. With invincibility, activate invincibility and stay aggressive. Without invincibility, use the platform timing method. Onto Clancy's true form. With invincibility, stay on the left side. Now jump straight up in the gap between energy balls. Without invincibility, start on the right side, move left when he creates the fireball. Target the face consistently. The energy balls won't hit you if you're on the opposite side from where he's pulling energy. Now, the ancient security robot, Ryo. Phase 1. Attack the cockpit. Jump over wave shots from the bottom gun. And there you have it. Ninja Gaiden 3 is conquered. The game really is a masterpiece of challenge and design. The beautiful backgrounds, incredible soundtrack, and tight controls make every victory feel earned. While I still think Ninja Gaiden 2 is the best in the series, this one's a close second. If you've always been intimidated by Ninja Gaiden's trilogy's reputation, definitely try the Japanese version, Ninja Gaiden III, for a more reasonable difficulty curve. For newcomers, this specific version, absolutely use that 99 continues code. The game is still plenty challenging, but you won't want to rage quit every 5 minutes. The satisfaction of perfecting executing a difficult section or drowning through a tough boss doesn't diminish the fact just because you have extra lives. This marks the end of the Ninja Gaiden trilogy. And what a journey it's been. Thanks for watching, and remember, there will always be more evil government agents trying to drain life energy from demonic dimensions. And we'll be back next week with another game you can beat. Don't forget to like and subscribe if this videos help you conquer one of the NES most notorious challenges. Until next time, keep those dragon swords sharp.